How did Premier become one of Georgia's largest and most successful HVAC companies? By providing fast, friendly, professional service. Did I say fast? Yep, fast. Today, Premier helps hundreds of customers each day because we built a team of highly trained, qualified technicians ready to address AC, indoor air quality, and commercial services. If your AC does need to be replaced, breathe easy with perfectly timed saving on a new AC system. Free estimates at up to $2,000 in rebates, so you'll beat the heat in total comfort all summer long. Log on to dublin.premierishere.com. Premier Heating and Air, a locally owned and operated company. Offer ends June 30th, 2023.
Welcome everybody. I'm glad to have with me today Larry Collins. You are the brand new headmaster here at Trinity Christian School. First of all, I told you off camera, this will be the first of many interviews, and anybody that watches us know that we love our schools. We have some fine schools in Lawrence County, and Trinity is definitely at the top. And I'm going to show my age, but I remember the year Trinity actually started. It's this little private school out here that is, the campus has grown and grown, and I want to ask you first, what went into the decision getting you here at Trinity?
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate what you do for the community, and not only at Trinity, but for all of the area schools. You know, I think the decision really was made pretty easy for me personally and professionally. We were looking for a school that had a very clear mission. And I don't know if there's one mission that's better than the other, but professionally, I think you always look for a place where you fit. And so as we looked at the opportunity here at Trinity Christian, you know, first and foremost is the Christian environment, the dedication to challenging students in their personal faith. All of our teachers and administrators, you know, their personal relationship with Christ is important, and for me personally, that was very significant and really kind of made the decision easier. Of course, Trinity does a great job in the classroom. Our students go on to great colleges and universities, so that's a piece, obviously. The interscholastic piece is important. I think it gives students, all students, the opportunity to grow and face challenges and hopefully win some, but also hopefully, you know, at the same time lose and learn how to cope with obstacles. I think that's important for our students. Hopefully life will be good for our families, but we all know that no matter how good life is, sometimes life can get hard, and I think for our students to have the opportunity to face academic challenges in the classroom and challenges on the interscholastic arena is very helpful to them as well. But for us and our family, I think really the decision came down to being a part of a school that was very committed to their Christian environment.
Well, there's going to be obstacles out there. God don't say anywhere in those 66 books that life's going to be a cakewalk, but he did promise he'd stay with us through the fire. So that's our hope, and we can rest on that because we know it's the infallible Word of God, period. You know, and that's the only absolute I know in life is our guide to how we should live. And as you were talking, we're behind our cameras. I see nothing but champions at National Beta Club, of course, accreditation. You know, we're not Trinity Christian Academy. We are a school, accredited school, and that carries a long way when you start moving to that next step. There's a big difference, aren't there?
There certainly is, and you know, Trinity is fortunate. They have 4 accreditation agencies now, and so I'm not sure. I'm sure there's a fifth somewhere, but to say you're accredited by 4 independent organizations, I think speaks to the quality of instruction and learning that goes on at Trinity Christian School. And so that is, you're right. Our role is not to parent. Our role is not to be the local church. It is to partner with parents in the local church in building young men and women who are strong in their personal Christian faith.
It hadn't been too long ago, month I guess, we do our salute to graduates every year at each high school, and as I watched those kids come in one by one and listen to their goals and their ambitions, and one of the questions that was asked was what person at Trinity made the biggest impact on you? And it didn't surprise me of a lot of the answers. A lot of the answers was Coach Jimmy Fields. My last interview was right here in this room, and it was very emotional. As we sit here today, we got a 2-camera shoot. That day I was thanking the Lord we had 2 camera, because tears just rolling down my face to see what was happening to his body, but yet to see the life he was living. Just as a Christian, that he knew, death has no sting to those of us that believe. And Coach Fields, he walked the walk and talked the talk. And the only reason I say that, he passed away a few years back, but he's still having that impact. And Larry, when they hired him here, and my first interview with him, I asked him what kind of year they were going to have. And I'd never heard anybody answer it the way he did. And he said, well, I'll let you know in about 15, 20 years. When these boys turn into men and they're deacons in their church and they're husbands and parents, he said, I can tell you then what kind of season we had. Now that to me is where it all comes home, isn't it?
That's right. Jimmy and I actually worked together at Deerfield, Windsor. Coach Fields and I served together on a football staff many moons ago, and he was actually my assistant basketball coach. So Coach Fields and I go way back, and you're right. And that wasn't just talk. I mean, that's who he was, and even today. There are people I come in contact with in Albany and here and other places that Jimmy was, and that's the type of legacy he left. And really I hope that's the goal for all of us here on campus, because we are in a society who we like that immediate gratification, and we certainly, when we compete and we want to win on Friday night, but we've got to be about more than just winning in football and really even SAT scores. And I consider myself a purist teacher. I'm a history teacher and I love teaching. And don't get me wrong, those things are important. I think they're great lessons in competition and preparation. But I think they're greater lessons in terms of those same avenues that build legacy and really character that will propel you through life, in the next 15, 20 years. But so Coach Fields is right.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, we talked off camera. My son played a lot of high school sports, and I always told him, you don't want to be a good loser. You want to be a good sport, and you got to know how to lose. That's right. And there's a way to do it. Don't ever enjoy that. Learn by it each time. But you actually have coached and won 2 state championships. And I want to know, what do you think basketball, football, sports in high school, what does that teach a child about the game of life?
Yeah, I think it's a process. And I think from my casual observations, you look at coaches who have had sustained success. They are concentrated on the details of the moment. They're not necessarily worried about the outcome of the game. They're worried about that particular play, that assignment, and they don't miss the smallest details. And so for me, I think that's what, really college preparation is about. I'll tell our students, if you're in the 3rd grade and you think the end all is the third grade spelling list, you're going to be really disappointed when you get to fourth grade and there's another group of spelling words. And so it's not just the memorization or the learning of facts. It is the process of learning and dealing with new information and new challenges and being able to face those in a critical manner. Those types of skills, I think they are very prolific in athletics. And not just athletics. We've talked about beta club and one-act play. I can't think of anything that would help a young person as being on stage in front of peers and judges. I mean, one-act play and the band, and there's so many things. It doesn't have to be football.
That's right.
But the opportunity outside the classroom, to me, that's what's important in terms of the process of working through the details and the preparation. If you can learn kind of what I would call those systems to be successful, and it may be being successful in junior chemistry class, but probably the systems that gave you success in that junior chemistry class will give you success as you start selling or whatever your area of work may be.
Yes, and I even see it with our game of the week. Our coaches shows we'll feature kids a lot of times, and I'll have a child 4 or 5 years after they got out of school. I had one guy I ran into at the bank, and Mr. Steele, do you remember me? I said, no, son, I don't remember you. And he goes on to tell me he went to West Lawrence, and he was the kicker. He goes on to tell me, and they went in double overtime with Liberty County. I remember the game, and he said, you said this about me, and you said this, and you said this, and the reason I say that is you're talking, and whether it's beta, one-act play, or what, you're giving these kids confidence that you want them to go beyond their expectations. And no matter what their niche is, everybody don't play football or basketball, or find something that you can just lock in on. And I think more than anything, it shows you, look, here you accomplished this, and you got the confidence. And when these kids get on TV in the 10th grade, that's a big deal to them. Sure. I do it every day. It's like, it's not a big deal to me. But these kids, when they're on, it just, and that's why we do it. That's the only reason we do it, is to support these kids that a lot of times don't get recognition, even at home. They really don't. But we're going to continue our conversation. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back right after this.
From humble beginnings with a desire to serve the Dudley community, Bank of Dudley has grown to 5 locations, serving Lawrence, Twiggs, and surrounding counties. Serving our community since 1905, the Bank of Dudley is looking forward to its 2nd century of community banking. Drop in today to any of our 5 locations: Jeffersonville, Dudley, East Dublin, Veterans Boulevard, and downtown Dublin. Bank of Dudley, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender.
Hi, I'm Michael Wheelis with Dublin Piggly Wiggly, inviting you to come in and shop with us today. We've got a great lineup of produce, groceries, and fresh meats, including pork, beef, and chicken. Come shop with us today, where we cut fresh every day. Don't forget, our butchers are always ready for any special cuts. Call ahead, and we'll be glad to get it ready for you today. Dublin Piggly Wiggly, your authorized certified Angus beef dealer.
Welcome back, everybody. If you're just joining us, I have with me Larry Collins, the new headmaster here at Trinity Christian School. And if you missed the first part, you can go to our YouTube channel and watch this entirety. If not, we're going to play it again. But we're so excited. It's kind of like a double whammy. We're getting Coach Lane. He has coached state championships. I've had a lot of people in town. We've had thousands of people watch that show. And I've had so many people say, man, that guy on that show he's going to do good out there. I said, well, he'll get the most out of them, because as a coach, the kids have to buy into the program. Right. And we talked again earlier, it's all about your people. You got to have good people. And I want you to talk about the people here at Trinity, the ones that I look as a leader. I ride on the shoulders of many people, and talk about these people that you're going to be riding their shoulders.
Yeah, no, and I think you're right that we you know, I've been here about 4 weeks now, and so still getting to know people. But I think this is my 29th year in education, and so as you have some experiences, you kind of pick up quicker maybe than you did 25 years ago. And so, boy, I've been so impressed with the faculty and staff here. I've had the opportunity to meet with almost every single faculty member one-on-one and talk, and all of them are very positive, energetic, very committed to our mission. Our office staff, but they do a tremendous job. They work 12 months out of the year, so they're here every day. Just incredible group of people who a lot of talents and skills, and so I think Trinity's very fortunate there. And administratively, I think Trinity is in a great place. We talked about Coach Lane already, but his leadership as the athletic director, I think will provide great maturity and stability and leadership in the athletic arena. Candace Ushery is our academic dean, and she does a great job, and she's expecting her first child just in maybe even as we speak, hopefully for her. But she's a great teacher, and she has a great heart for our students, and providing great challenging curriculum and instruction for them. And Daphne Wyatt is our lower school director, and she's also was a great teacher, and she's a great help to our lower school teachers and our lower school parents and students. And so, you know, when you have great people, then you can accomplish great things, and I think Trinity certainly has a great staff. Absolutely.
What's the most fun part of your job heading a school?
Yeah, I've seen the students, you know, interact on a day-to-day basis. I enjoy, you know, I went over across the street yesterday and watched a couple innings of a summer league baseball game, and it was felt like 110 degrees. But I enjoyed that. I enjoy watching softball practice or a basketball scrimmage, but I also enjoy being able to slide into the back of the classroom. You know, again, I kind of grew up as a history teacher, and so I love the classroom, and so I think that's an easy answer. I enjoy being around the students. That's really why I got into this profession, and I think when I stop enjoying that, it's probably time for me to go do something else.
Yeah, I tend to agree. You mentioned basketball. We got us a brand new basketball coach this year. Tell us about him.
Yeah, he's going to do a great job, an alumnus of the school, and so you know, Nolan is hit the ground running, and you know, they had a great last couple seasons, so he's inheriting a program that's had some success. He's also inheriting a little bit of a younger team, and so that's a process as well. We kind of talked about that before, that you know, he is committed to kind of the long-term picture there, and so he has already been in the gym, and they've been working hard, and so he's going to do a great job for us.
Absolutely, and I hear nothing but good things about him. Okay, let's talk about your family. I think you got 3 children.
I do have 3 children. Been married just a couple of days ago with our 26th anniversary.
Wow.
And so I told somebody it's been a great 26 years for me. I'm not sure what Melanie would say, but we have 3 children. Drew is a senior at the University of Georgia. He's doing very well. He is a political science and international affairs double major, and already has a job with a political consulting firm there, and so that's good.
Yeah.
And our middle child, Hudson, just finished his 2nd year at Georgia College, and he's a finance major. He's doing very well also. And then our youngest, Mary Ramsey, she'll be a rising senior, and so this is a big year for her. Her senior year, but at a new school. And I'll say again, the community has already been so warm and welcoming to her, and certainly made what could have been a difficult transition for her. They've just really welcomed her with open arms, and so we're excited about that as well.
Well, this kind of school it is. That's the kind of community Dublin and Lawrence County is. I grew up here, and it was a little small town. Everybody knew everybody. And now there's no way I know everybody. Back
Right.
then, you knew at least their uncle or aunt or granddad or whoever. But Dublin's really grown. We've just went over 50,000 people in the last census, so it's not that little town anymore. But yet it has, to me, a lot of that little town feel where neighbors help neighbors, and we get in there, and the church is the church. And we fall in there with the woman that lost her husband or the family that lost their house to a fire. And that's what the church is for. That's what we should be doing. We're here to save and to serve, but you know, the church plays a major role in that. So I'm curious, you're rising senior. What kind of conversation was that when you decided you were going to take this job? Were they, it seemed like, knowing you like I do in a short time, you probably brought them along the whole process with you, didn't you?
Well, when Melanie and I thought it was kind of appropriate, and kind of the decision was made that we were going to come to Trinity, we did. She's 17. Gosh, she informed me the other day she'll be able to vote in the presidential election. I'm not sure if that's not scary, but she'll be 18 in the fall. She's a mature young lady, and so we involved her kind of with the process, and we kind of did the traditional pros and cons, and kind of wade through things. She asked great questions, and she prayed through, and as we kind of went back around as a family, I think God really kind of helped us all be on the same page. So it was a process. But it was a really good process for our family.
Yeah, moving your senior year, but that sounds good when you know that you've bathed it in prayer, and anything God ordains, all the details will be worked out. I counsel a lot of people, and people want to turn to God for the big things, but God wants to manage all things, and we tend to say, Lord, you handle this, and I'll take care of this over here. And if I need you, I'll come back and holler. That's not the way we should live. We need to, that old hymn that we'd always sing growing up, leaning on the everlasting arms. We are to lean on those everlasting arms. So, Trinity has a great reputation in the community for, you touched on it a little bit earlier, but the kids that have high SAT scores, 98% of the kids that graduate go to college. No matter what they do, if they want to be a lineman for Georgia Power, you have that basis, that foundation to do that on. And we want kids to pursue their dream, don't we?
That's right. And I think for me, it is about having options after high school. And so much, again, we talked about it already in terms of college preparation, but also I think it's just preparation after high school. I mean, we talk about success and finding success in the classroom, and then also success in the interscholastic world. But really, all of that comes down to is having success when you leave Trinity Christian. I think families are paying for a Trinity Christian education, not during the, say, K through 12 years, but for life after that, because of the preparation, the biblical worldview that's hopefully instilled into the children and students. So it's really after, almost as what Coach Field said. Are you going to have a successful season? Yeah. Has their time at Trinity been a success? Well, I think you have to wait till they're 25 or 35. But my guess is, from what I hear from our alumni, is that Trinity does a great job in preparing them for life after high school, and then even life after college.
Absolutely. Of course, you got a senior at Georgia, and I've had 2 nephews in the last few years graduate from Georgia, and they graduated with their faith intact. And that comes from that foundation we talk about, because we know universities today and a lot of the professors and the way they think, and they're entitled to that. But I think a lot of times they try to indoctrinate these kids to switch sides. But I think it's quite an accomplishment when my nephews or your son can graduate with that faith intact and have that biblical worldview that you're talking about, because we all have a worldview, but is it based around the Word of God? That's the thing. So that's quite an accomplishment, is it, as your child graduates?
Yeah, it is, and I think that didn't, that doesn't happen when they go off to college. As you said, you have to have a foundation, and what are you kind of falling back on? Where are you putting your trust? And if, and again, I'll tell parents that if the first time your child has questions about their faith, they're in their dorm room, they may be in trouble, right? Because who knows what their roommate or college professor will tell them, and we don't have to go into all the horror stories, but they're true horror stories. Yeah. And so, I'm very glad Drew and I have had honest conversations, and he's very involved with a small group in a church there in Athens, and so we're really pleased that he's continuing to be faithful there.
Good. Well, you got your youngest. She's going to be able to vote in the presidential election. Right. So is Drew going to tell her how to vote, since he's going to be a political?
Listen, Drew will tell everyone how to vote if you allow him to, for sure.
Well, he's definitely going to work his sister on to whatever his side is. We'll stay out of the politics end, but I would think it'd be some good conversation around the dinner table on Sunday. I know every family, I know my family, we have some very interesting talks around the table, and I think that's the American way of life a lot of times. So
It is. So it will be, we're getting ready to go to the beach together next week, and his group has just finished some primaries, last week, and so we'll get caught up on, all of his great political thought, I'm sure.
That's very interesting, though. I think, and already got a job lined up. But
yeah, that's a great blessing in today's time.
Oh, absolutely.
And one he enjoys. I mean,
yes.
Like you said,
not something we just took.
That's
right. That's so good. That's just. It warms your heart as a parent or grandparent, in my case, when you see those kids have it together. They're grounded in their faith, and back to, we've said it a few times, that foundation that they have in life. So we're going to take another quick break. We'll come back and wrap things up.
Hi, I'm Tom Dominy. Here at Dublin Wood Nelson, we pride ourselves on providing the industry's highest quality products at the most competitive pricing. We are a full-service wholesaler specializing in plumbing, irrigation, and industrial products. With a staff that collectively offers more than 50 years of expertise, our team knows your industry, and we can answer your questions and help you get the parts and equipment you need. From mowing to Renee, we carry the plumbing, irrigation, and industrial products you need from the brands you trust. We also carry a great lineup of Milwaukee tools. At Dublin Wood Nelson, our goal is the long-term success of your business. We achieve that goal with a simple commitment, doing things right, one customer at a time. If you have a question, or if you're looking for a hard-to-find part, give us a call. Our experts are ready to help. Order online, give us a call, or come by at 507 Airport Road in Dublin. We're committed to building long-term relationships with our customers by earning your business every day.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dustin Gay. I'm a local orthopedic surgeon with Houston Clinic Orthopedics, and we'd really like to invite everybody to come out to our new office facility to take a look at it. It's a larger space with physical therapy, and we're just excited to have it, and we'd love for people to come out and visit us.
Come by and see us today at our brand new location, the Houston Clinic, Medical Drive in Dublin.
Welcome back, everybody. We're going to wrap things up now. Now, we talked about the staff a while ago, and as I sit here listening to you, Larry, first of all, when I asked you about the staff, maybe y'all noticed it, but I did, sitting here next to him in live show. When I asked you about the staff, your face lit up. You changed emotions, and I'm not psychoanalyzing you, but I could tell. You love the question, but even more than that, you love the people here, and you know now you've got in, got your feet wet, met with a lot of them, but you know the kind of people you got, don't you?
Yeah, and that's genuine. Sometimes you walk in the door and you realize, boy, there may be some work to be done. Yeah. And obviously there's work to be done here, but the people are very talented and good, and as I said, committed to the mission of the school.
Yeah, and the board of directors, Trinity, and I've said this at every school, but there's something about Trinity, and I love all our schools, but when you walk on campus, when a school can have chapel every week, when a school can have Bible classes in this day and time, and when a school, when the science teacher is teaching science, she can tie it all into creation, which we know all these things are important. Is that part of what drew you to working in private schools?
It is. I actually come from a long line of public educators, and my grandfather was a county school superintendent. My father was in public school administration, and I love public education. But the autonomy at a private school was first special for me in the classroom, and then certainly as an administrator. And again, on a personal level, a Christian school isn't for everyone, and that's okay in the country that we live in. And I'm glad that we live in a country where you can be who you would like to be. But for those who are of the Christian faith, I think it's a great opportunity. And so that does start with our board of directors. My conversations with them in an interview process just reaffirmed, what was in print. They give great guidance and protection first to the mission of the school. Their responsibility is to make sure that the faculty and staff is carrying out the mission of the school and to help, in terms of financial responsibilities. And they take those very seriously. And they're a great group of men and women who have been leading the school for a long time, but the direction they've set certainly is very positive.
Now, there's one lady that walks these halls, Miss Payne, who is, I don't know if I can come up with enough adjectives. She's amazing. She's incredible. The woman she knows finance. And I'm glad to see her cross-training some people because she knows, as she told me the other day, she won't always be here. But she's been here like 48 years. That's longer than you can take a couple of graduates, not going to equal up the time she's been here. But I know you fell in love with her the minute you got here.
Right away. She's very impressive.
Yes.
She does a great job and obviously has been doing a great job. One of my mentors, when I moved into administration, he said, you can do everything right, but if the finances aren't right, it won't really matter. Yeah. And so that's always kind of been in my mind. And Trinity Christian, we might have just hit on one of the main reasons they've been so successful for the last 48 years.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to know how to handle it. You got to know how to do things. And she has been around the block many, many times. So I doubt anything catches her by surprise.
No, I wouldn't think so.
But yeah, she is remarkable and comes from a wonderful family. But well, I appreciate you sitting down and talking with me. I know you're super busy, but you didn't hesitate to give me the time that we could sit down and talk for a minute.
Well, I appreciate it. Thanks again for all that you do for our community.
Thank you, brother. And no matter how you're watching us now, and I found out with these young people my age watch TV. These younger people watch our station on an iPad, iPod, something, and they don't watch TV like older people do. But no matter how you're watching us right now, if you're on one of those iPads or your laptop, no matter how you're watching us, we appreciate you watching today on TV 35.